Okay, so here we are on the Disney Wonder. This is the 2019 member cruise, West Coast. They did an East Coast and a West Coast cruise this year. And we are sailing on the Disney Wonder. As I said, I was just taking a look out there. We're off the coast of Washington right now, as we've sailed from San Diego to San Francisco, had a wonderful day in port, and now we're up in the Pacific Northwest, and we are on our way to Victoria, British Columbia. And I'm really excited about this because Genevieve and I have not been to Victoria since we moved from Washington to open our Arizona office about 8.5 years ago. We used to go up to Victoria at least once a year, sometimes twice, but usually it was two up to the Vancouver area, 2 visits a year, and then one up to Victoria. So we're looking forward to having a day in port there tomorrow, and of course we'll have some video on that. It is getting a bit colder. It's hard to believe it's May, because day after we left Arizona, it hit 100 degrees before going back to 79, and we had some chilly with the wind in San Francisco yesterday, but it's very nice. As I said, we'll post video. And from those who remember our cruise last October and prior ones, I always try to include video of the ship, so we'll have various videos throughout the day. This is a 5-day cruise versus our last one, which was a 7-day cruise down to Mexico in October. So part of it is dealing with the let's get the film in while the lighting's good. Not as many kids on this cruise, it appears, because this one is for DVC members only, or Disney Vacation Club members, and we're expecting a lot of great stuff ahead when we get to the D23 Expo in August. So they talk about the 3 new ships that are under construction, and we've been doing a little a little scouting around, because our granddaughter is turning 3 in July, so we're getting ready to, hopefully start including her and my son on future trips. So this is the path here on deck 4. There are 10 decks on this ship, I guess 11 if you count the concierge lounge. You can see we've had a lot of water in here, but this is the walking and jogging track. Apparently, so you go 3 laps around equals 1 mile, so you can walk around the ship a few times. I always like this part here because it's a lot warmer in this area, and it's quiet, as you can see. Walkways are also quite dry. You'll see quite a contrast when we actually go upstairs to the what do you call it? The pool area, and we may just keep it continuously running. It's our 3rd time taking this route. We've done this, it's been a few years since we've taken this route, but this is our 8th cruise, Disney cruise, and all on the Wonder. And we're already planning number 9. Probably going to do a jaunt down to Mexico again. It's usually in October. Weather could be a little warmer, but we also had to dodge some hurricanes last time, but it was fine. They were away, ways from us. They were just making sure they didn't shift and head in our direction. Wife loves these chairs here. They're fantastic to just sit in, read a book, chill out. These are the lifeboats. Got our shuffleboard station. Crew is always cleaning the boat. Anytime you come out, there's always crews doing work. They're very thorough. So I think what we'll do this year, once I finish the loop, we will do a deck-by-deck video. And, we're not going to do any fancy edits or trick shots. I'm just going to get us up to I'm going to go through this area here. We're going to go up to the top, and then we're going to work our way down deck by deck. Obviously, I won't need to do anything past 3 because, decks 2 and 1 and some of the others in between essentially are just living decks, and outside of the medical facilities on deck 1, nothing out of the ordinary. So I'll just focus on the main entertainment areas. We are supposed to be getting an advanced screening of Aladdin tomorrow, and looking forward to that after we get back from Victoria. Just saw Frozen again on the in-room channels. They've got a Star Wars channel, Marvel channel, lots of Disney ones. Endgame is going to be showing in about an hour. Actually, I think it's starting soon, but they're going to have Endgame up in the theater. We had a fantastic presentation. We have all sorts of special entertainment on this cruise because it's a members-only cruise. A lot of special gifts they're giving us. Had an executive from ABC Television came out and talked about the process for how the comedies go from pitch to pilot to series commitment, and then they showed us a brand new show called United We Fall, and it's a new comedy that will be coming in the fall. Apparently it had never been shown outside of the Disney executive offices, and they showed us the first episode. There was a Pixar behind the scenes where apparently a lot of footage from Toy Story 4 was shown, and you'll see the other videos. My wife's taken some really good video of that. But yeah, I always like this area. I always kind of like the quiet area of the boat. You don't see a lot of people through here. Every now and then you'll see someone run past you. And that is a very nice warm breeze coming through here. We also do our evacuation drills on this deck before we leave. We're required to do them. We were on section M this time. See, here's someone coming through doing their running. Okay, so we're going to go inside. I will start heading up in a minute, and I may have to talk in a lower tone depending on what's going on. Okay, so this is the Walt Disney Theater. This is the very large theater where we get the shows like the Broadway shows. This is where the ABC thing was. Staircase is down. I'll get some video later, but so you can see ABC Funny from earlier, ABC Funny this afternoon, DC Capella, which is pretty good. Preludes. Okay. One of the gift shops, Mickey's Main Sale. We bought a few things in there. Walt Disney Theater. Oh, and there is Cinderella. Is that? Oh, see, that's wonderful.
I love the sweater you're wearing. It's beautiful. Are you having a wonderful afternoon? Yes, of course. You can. How are you today? You doing wonderful? Yes.
She said yes, baby.
We could take a picture and then maybe
She
we can
just
chat.
wanted to, yeah, she just is not. Okay, ladies, we're going for it. Let's see what we get.
Upscale stuff in this shop. Very nice. We got some of the member cruise shirts. We'll show those off later.
I don't know that we like those ones. We tried to do portrait. Okay, that would be,
Donald.
in the portrait, that probably.
All the stuffed animals and the cups and Star Wars lanyards and candy.
We'll try those.
Oh, thank you very much.
See?
Would you tell her thank you, baby?
Yes, it's Cinderella.
Captain Awesome.
Have you seen Cousin Jack once already?
Say not yet.
Not yet. What about my fairy godmother?
Not yet.
Not yet. Well, I'll have to see if I can find her. I've been looking for my fairy godmother. I think she might have lost her wand.
You think?
Maybe you can help her find her wand. That would be very helpful. She's not listening.
Not listed.
Oh, fairy godmother. Cheetah,
lots of magic, don't you?
No. So anyway, that was very sweet. Now we are on the deck for observation. Member cruise area. This is the big atrium. I know some of you from the past videos would be used to seeing the gigantic Halloween tree there. It's been a long time since we've done a Christmas cruise, but we've done several Halloween. And it is odd, because I think our 3 recent ones have all been Halloween cruises, so it's very odd to me to see the boat without the Halloween deck. Let's see here. There's Ariel, who's coming up. Goofy and Pluto, and Chip and Dale. This is the. I'll have some video from dinner tonight. That's pretty awesome. We're going to be at the Animator's Palette tonight. Here's the artwork wall. D Lounge. We were doing our member things where they told us all about the new. What would you call it? The new offerings like the Riviera Resorts getting ready to open and some of the new stuff coming to the parks. This is Shutters. It's the photo thing. You can go and check your photos here, buy photographic equipment, buy your prints. Hello. See? And there you go. That was Ariel. Animator's Palette. And playing Phil Collins doing Tarzan. And I hope this isn't too bouncy. We're actually doing a little bit of pitch rock and roll. Okay. You can see the elevator. I know, full service video on this one. We're only going up a room. No reason to go to 6, 7, 8, or 2, 1. Those are all staterooms. Hey. So as you can see, there's the movie theater. Hello. Penguins. Everyone's getting ready for the show. See, Adventure Endgame coming up, and then later tonight, Captain Marvel. Theater is 3D enhanced. They also can show movies up front in the Buena Vista Theater. The one corner I'm always nervous about on the ship because I'm 6'4", and this is very close, but we got some great video in here. This is the Oceaneers Club, where the little people go, so we're looking forward to our granddaughter giving that one a whirl. So here's an example of some of our entertainment tonight, or this afternoon. It starts in the morning and continues on. Now it should be, here we go. We're in the 8:15 dinner group, so that villain's quote trivia sounds interesting, though. It's always the beauty of it. There's so much to do, and we always try to have a balance between doing things and resting. So like last night after dinner, we went and saw part of the comedy show, and then we went and did the Match Your Mate, which is kind of like, which is hysterical. It's kind of like the Newlywed Game. Walked around. Today we did the Disney member thing, and we also did the ABC thing, as I mentioned. So, a lot of stuff tomorrow because it's our last full day before we dock. Alright, so I'm going to head back to the elevators, and we are going to go up top. Okay, folks, everyone's always very friendly on this. Just see nothing but smiles. There's the Oceaneers lab where they're all up there. See, they're doing their video bowling and stuff. And, oh crud, and I missed it because I was too busy watching. Still caught it. Okay, so, we will do this. We'll go up to 10. And we'll work deck to deck. The mobility scooters, aerial. It's amazing, they put it in dry dock a few years ago and made all sorts of enhancements, but it's still pretty amazing when it came out. So this is the Concierge Lounge, and that's a very fancy extra. As you can see, how bad is it? Yeah, it's pouring out here. So, let's see. Yeah, I can manage it. Alright. So I'll just do this, I'll walk around and give you guys a view. See, that's dedication. It's cold, it's wet, and I'm doing it, so. It's Concierge Lounge up here. As you can see, this is the adult area. Absolutely love this. It's called the Cove. No one under 18 allowed. You can sit there, you can have your coffee. They have a special coffee shop right there next to the bar. Or if you don't want to pay for specialty coffee, you can just go and get your cup from any of the stations around. We'll get to that. My goodness, it is wet. That's why I'm being careful. I don't want to go over. So here's the activity court. Right before as we were pulling out of San Diego, I actually dunked the ball, just as a laugh. Wanted to show everyone I could still do it, and yes, I managed to pull off 2 dunks successfully. Deck 9 is looking very, very attractive right now, so we'll be heading in, because I am actually wearing shorts and sandals, believe it or not. A lot of stuff up here for the teens. There's a lot of standing water. So, 1 second, we're going to go down a level. A lot more covered areas down there. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. This is where you can be done up like a prince or a princess. Actually, this is a good place to be. Let me show you. Didn't go by Paulo. I didn't go walking by people when they're at the 5-star dining. But, hold on. Be a little quiet for this part. Afternoon. Spa services, hair and beauty nail salons. Got a massage here on our last cruise. It was phenomenal. Rainforest room, also wonderful. Saunas and spas, changing room, and of course, how are you? Good. And this is the gym. So we were in here the other day. You saw a video of me working the bike. It was fun working the exercise bike when the seas were pitching, but you know, thankfully, don't get motion sick, which is a real plus. Just made for a nice thing, but really, really nice, really upscale. Hello. Good, thank you. See, beauty salon, so you got everything you want here. And I'm heading outside here real quick. Okay, so that's the Cove area. Now usually this deck is a hub of activity. Now people say, why is this area a hub of activity? Well, it's very simple. This is where you obviously have the pools. You have a lot of dining areas. When the weather's really nice, this is where you want to be. You also have, here's like some of the mid-range pools. Pool and hot tubs open to everybody, family area. They show a lot, they do live shows on the stage here. As you can see, we have, what is that, Tangled playing. And this, of course, is the bar. On the other side of that is the ever-popular Pinocchio's Pizzeria, where you can get nice slices of pizza all hours into the evening. This is the ice cream station. So we got mango today, chocolate vanilla. Here's the bar area. They have the Dole Whip, including the rum versions. The children's area. Over here you got Boiler Bites, fish sandwiches, chicken strips, fries, burgers, hot dogs, things of that nature. You can get shawarma and gyros around the side. They're clearing up. Children's area. There's the thing that was really enhanced in the dry dock and upgrades. Dory's Reef, so the kids can go, and the little ones who don't swim can just go and splash around. Daisy's Delights, so this is your salads, your sandwiches, your fruit, for those who want something quick and healthy. You've got your buildable station where you can, potato leek soup today, chicken teriyaki, rice, quinoa. That's really good for those who want healthy options. It is quite good. I've had a few. Not on this trip yet. Thank you, sir. Cabanas. This is the buffet, and we'll get some video of that tomorrow. Don't want to go in now because we're between meal services. I should actually show you this. May grab myself something if time allows. But yeah, you can get an idea. See? Drink stations, all that. We'll show you the breakfast run tomorrow. Thank you. Now, I actually saw adults going down the duck. Here's the drink station. You can either bring your own cup or get some here. Everything's all set. Milk, hot chocolate, coffee, decaf. They're out of that, but they have the packets for hot chocolate, and that's available 24 hours a day. So you can go and do that. So, really awesome. Now let me show you one other thing, and I think we'll just basically complete our tour in a moment. So as you can see, we've got artwork all over the walls. Just easily, you can, 4 banks of elevators, 4 aft and midship. Of course, stairs all over. I had briefly thought about showing you folks the cabin, but my understanding is the missus probably would not like me walking in filming while she's asleep on the couch, but we will show you what the cabin looks like. Alright, this is a good spot. Now this is going to look a little different than you're probably used to. Okay, so, boat. This is Tiana's place. We're going to have dinner there tomorrow. Used to be a Parrot Cay, and it was done up to be like Tiana's from The Princess and the Frog. We get live show, entertainment. This is the menu for them tonight. We're actually in the Animator's Palette tonight. And yeah, that looks like what we had our first night. We were there the first night. Triton's last 2 nights, Animator's Palette tonight. For lunch, for breakfast and lunch, you can go where you want. You can get room service. You can get, you can do the same for dinner if you don't want to do the formal, but mostly everybody goes to the buffet, and they're getting ready to do trivia here. Mostly everybody does the buffet for breakfast because there's such a huge selection. You know, if you're into the European style and you just want bread and meat and cheese, you can have that, or you can have eggs and omelets made to order. Alright. This is Triton's. This is often for breakfast lunch. Let's have a look and see what Triton has tonight. Oh, this looks like the menu we had last night. Yeah, I had the wild mushroom stuffed pasta. It was actually quite good. Not really much of a seafood person myself. My wife is, and so she was thrilled that the buffet had all the seafood in the world out today. But I had schnitzel and vegetables and stuff like that, and it worked out really well for me. Now, this is the guest services where you take care of onboard charging and everything like that. This is the main atrium. This is where we board the ship when we start the cruise and where we go off. When you do the excursions, yesterday we got off in San Francisco on deck 4 because they had a gangplank extended, and sometimes we go out on deck 1. This is Port Adventures, where you book them. We're gonna do a lot of free roaming in the port, but yesterday we did, what did we do yesterday? Went to the Disney Museum, we went to cable car, went up and down Fisherman's Wharf. Now, some of you may remember years ago, this used to be Route 66, and it's been revamped a few years ago. This is Azure. We had a couple of activities there. Had a great, see, this is the cruise staff, DJ, and stuff. They have all sorts of activities coming up. You can see the sea. You can actually sit on these. They're fantastic for some views. In fact, let's do that and get some nice video on the water. Gorgeous, isn't it? Now, here is the Cadillac Lounge. Now, you know, jazz, more adult oriented. There's been a lot of private functions on this. See? See? Now, like I said, those of you who remember this map, this carpet used to be all done up like Route 66, and so had that. Those two people passed us. They were actually in the Match Your Mate game. Now, this is the Crown and Fin English Pub. It is a sports bar, basically. You can come in and play board games, get some snacks and appetizers, alcohol, watch the games. When we do the October cruises, a lot of football and baseball. Right now, because it's a member cruise, a lot of the advisors are here talking about Adventures by Disney, going over membership and such. They had told us that, they had told us that due to some contractual thing, they can't discuss a couple of the resorts. Once we get into Canadian water, they can only discuss the resort that's opening. And so everybody kind of just stopped and did what do you call it? Hey, this is what we've got available if you want to add on your points. They have all sorts of incentives going on and things like that. So we didn't add on this trip, but that's something we're definitely looking forward to doing. You know, especially with the son and the granddaughter. They're going to hopefully be joining us very soon, so I'm going to need some extra points to get them in the mix. And I think that's going to do it. So, thank you so much for watching, and we'll have more soon. Animator's Palette. It's just gone dark, and it's all lit up.
Someday, Abu, we'll be rich, live in a palace, and never have any problems at all.
Well, he's tall and handsome and so romantic.
I'm tired of taking. I want to make things. I want to add something to this world.
I've been looking out a window for 18 years, dreaming about what it might feel like when those lights rise in the sky. What if it's not everything I dreamed it would be?
It will be. What they can't do these days. Come on, everybody! Here we go!
Mouse.